bringing you classic gaming.
What's the deal, world? I go by the name of Biz Billa, and we back once again, bringing you classic gaming. You know, bring your controller, and we back with another episode of Around the Bags. It's been way too long, man. I should have had this much time going between the last two episodes, but today we're bringing you a gameplay and franchise with the Kansas City Royals. I just started the season specifically for Around the Bags, just in case you got. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm a diehard Mets fan. So it was hard for me to pick the Royals. They beat us in the World Series a couple years back. But point being, I picked the Royals, do a little rebuild, something like that for footage purposes, you know what I mean? But if you want to see my team, the Mets, I also have a franchise with the Mets. Y'all want to see that? Pull up, let me know in the comments. If you're new here, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're going to keep bringing you classic gaming, material, content, all the above, So today's episode, I want to talk about, we're in the summer now, it's June, my birthday just passed yesterday. Salute to everybody out there, all the Geminis in the world. But nonetheless, it's almost time for the All-Star game. So let's go ahead and look at this report that was dropped by MLB.com. They basically gave us the updated All-Star voting results. So we're going to go position by position. We're going to talk about all the players in the league and how they're looking in the standings as far as All-Stars are concerned. Let's get into this gameplay as we get ready to take on the Texas Rangers live from Kauffman Stadium. So first of all, let's start at first base, no pun intended. Let's start in the American League. Vladimir Guerrero, man. He is smashing the votes, 51% of the votes to be the AL starting first baseman, killing it in Toronto this year. That's a great young team, man. They got a lot of potential as far as the future is concerned. Coming in second place is Jose Abreu. He's got 9% of the votes for the White Sox. The slugger, always in the mix when it comes to first baseman and All-Star votes. And then we got Yuli Gurriel closing it out, number 3 for Houston. He's got 8% of the votes. Salute to Jared Walsh, Trey Mancini. They're next up. But it's looking like Vladdy's got that, man. Very popular guy as far as the fan vote is concerned, and he's showing worth on the field as well. Let's talk about the National League. Max Muncy. Very surprising to see him leading the way, man. Most times you would think about Rizzo or Freeman, who also come in second and third respectfully. But Max Muncy, 23% of the fan vote. And the Dodgers first baseman, is doing pretty well for him, man. He started off, he had some injuries throughout the year, you know what I'm saying? But he's in the mix, man. He's having a great year. And salute to him for a great season, potentially an All-Star bid. As far as the second baseman are concerned for the AL, leading the way with 34% of the votes, another Toronto Blue Jay in the infield, Marcus Semien, man, very good player. He does a lot for that Blue Jays teams on both sides of the field, at the plate and on the field. And coming in number 2, Jose Altuve, 20% of the votes from the Houston Astros. I know a lot of people have turned sour towards Jose Altuve, but he's always been a solid ball player, cheating or not, So salute to him being in the mix for the All-Star bid. And closing it out is DJ LeMahieu, who got 9% of the votes for the New York Yankees. Interesting. That's a very good position. AL is definitely stacked. They still got guys like Whit Merrifield and David Fletcher in the mix too, but it's a very solid position. That's the position I played when I was a kid back in the day playing Little League. You know what I mean? But let's go ahead and talk about the NL as far as they're concerned, man. Ozzie Albies is definitely leading the way as far as NL vote getters are concerned. The second base for Atlanta, 17% of the votes. Adam Frazier for the Pittsburgh Pirates, the struggling Pittsburgh Pirates. He comes in with 12% of the votes. And coming in number 3, Gavin Lux from the LA Dodgers, man, 10% of the votes. So, Jake Cronenworth, gotta shout him out too. In the last episode of Around the Bags, we talked about him being a Rookie of the Year. And now, here he is, boom. Potential All-Star at second base in the NL. That Padres team is stacked. You know what I mean? But let's talk about third base. As far as the American League is concerned, third base is one of those interesting positions. They usually have to have a pretty decent glove or a decent arm to play that hot corner. And a lot of these guys are power hitters. And just look at some of the names. I want to go backwards on this one. Let's start from the people who, are just missing a cut. They're the next up. With 7% of the votes, Anthony Rendon. What, man? Key contributor to that Washington Nationals team that won a chip a few years ago. And he's behind another guy that's just always putting up crazy offensive numbers. That would be Jose Ramirez of the Cleveland Indians, who came in with 9% of the votes. He just stacked, man. And we haven't even got to the top three. Let's talk about the top three. Alex Bregman, another one of those players from that Houston Astros team, that highly criticized Astros team, but you can't deny talent, man. 12% of the fan vote, coming in third for third base in the AL. Coming in at number 2, Yan Moncada, man. Listen, Chicago White Sox third baseman, 13%. I got him on my fantasy team, man. He's a solid hitter, man. He always is solid at the plate. Switch hitter, does what he does from both sides of the plate. Got to salute that guy, man. He's coming in second place in the AL vote. Coming in number 1, man, with 28% of the votes. He's been killing it in the AL East this year, man. Boston got off to a surprising start. I'm talking about Rafael Devers, man. Solid season for Rafael Devers, man. Neither one of them have made an all-star team or started one, talking about him and Moncada. So, if they both grab a spot, that'd be pretty impressive, as that was mentioned by MLB.com. Salute to them for this report. So let's go ahead and talk about the NL side of the third base. Another side that's very, very stacked, man. Another position that's very stacked. Let's go ahead and start at the bottom. Austin Riley from Atlanta. Might surprise some of you people. 11%, man. He's having a great season. The Braves always in the mix in that NL East. Very tough division. Always going head up with my Mets, but we got that this year. You heard? Let's go Mets. But let's talk about who's coming in fourth place. Running up next. He also tied with 11% of the vote. The San Diego Padres, Manny Machado, man. It's crazy. It's like he's almost taking a back seat as far as stardom is concerned to somebody we'll probably be talking about in a few minutes, Fernando Tatis. And, that Padres team is absolutely stacked, man. They're young. They got power. They got energy. They got the big chain that they're throwing on each other. That's a great team to watch, man. Very exciting team. Salute to them. But the reason they'll have to be good all year is because of this guy, because of this team that this guy is on. The LA Dodgers have the number 3 ranked third baseman as far as the fans' vote is concerned, with 12% of the votes. Justin Turner, man. This is a guy I was so disappointed that the Mets let go of, man. This guy is Mr. Consistent. You hear me? Salute to Justin Turner, always in the mix as far as third baseman is concerned. Coming in at number 2, 14% of the votes, St. Louis's own Nolan Arenado, man. Big offseason acquisition for the Cardinals. He does what he does, one of the best third basemen in baseball. But the best vote getter as far as third basemen are concerned, 29% of the votes. The Chicago Cubs, Chris Bryant. Come on. If it's not Bryant, if it's not Arenado, who is it in the NL? You know what I'm saying? Those dudes have been holding down the hot corner for quite some time. Salute to Chris Bryant from the Cubbies. Let's talk about the shortstops in the AL. Man, another stacked position. 8% of the votes, Alberto Mondesi, man. Listen, Kansas City, you're seeing them play right here, you know what I mean? Carlos Correa, 10% of the vote. He's coming in at 4th. Coming in number 3, somebody I really like to watch, man. Tim Anderson, very, very, very good hitter, man. He got 11% of the votes as far as AL shortstops are concerned. Coming in at number 2 with 15% of the votes, Bo Bichette. I used to love watching his dad play for the Colorado Rockies, and now he's tearing it out in Toronto. But the number 1 vote getter as far as shortstops are concerned, it's like that left side of the infield is just going to be Boston. Talking about Xander Bogaerts, 31% of the votes, man. Mr. Consistency. He's been doing what he does. Let's go ahead and talk about the NL, man, because I'm loving this shortstop position right now. 6% of the votes went to Washington's Trey Turner. Very consistent speed demon on the base path. Brandon Crawford's got 7% of the votes. Corey Seager's coming in 3rd, LA Dodger, with 9%. Javi Baez coming in 2nd with 13%. And somebody that we mentioned earlier, blowing everybody away in this one. 40% of the votes go to Fernando Tatis, man. Let me tell you something. One of the most electrifying players in baseball. That position is going to be well represented no matter who gets in after Tatis. You know what I mean? That's a very, 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 very solid group of players right there. Now let's talk about the outfield. As far as the American League is concerned, there's a lot of people to talk about right here. A lot of names. Let's go ahead and start with some of the people that just missing the cut. Andrew Benintendi from these Kansas City Royals. Cedric Mullins from the Baltimore Orioles. 3% votes for both of them. Both of them have a very solid season. I see Cedric Mullins' name pop up a lot when I'm watching MLB Network, so he's having a strong year. Salute to him. See if he gets some consideration for an All-Star nod. Salute to Michael Brantley, who got 3% of the vote as well. We've also got Randy Azanera. I never really could pronounce his name. I'm not even gonna try to embarrass myself by trying to do it, but there's a lot of guys in this list, man, that are really young. Like you got Randall Grichuk, Teoscar Hernandez, Adolis Garcia. I mean Byron Buxton. You got a lot of young talent in this outfield as far as the American League is concerned. As you see, my outfield is having some struggles this game. Just getting the ball. I mean, we're having a rough time, especially Jorge Soler. If you're watching this gameplay right now. But back to the original point, there's a whole lot of talent in this AL outfield, man. Aaron Judge, Mike Trout, rounding out the top vote getters in the AL. Mike Trout with 15% of the votes, Aaron Judge with 11%, and Byron Buxton right there, number 3 with 8%. But you know, the usual suspects as far as the AL is concerned. But like I said, a lot of young talent, and it's looking like a new regime is going to take over once Mike Trout and Aaron Judge start to slow down. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and talk about the NL side as far as the outfielders are concerned. Kente Marte, listen, Marte, man, he needs to go somewhere else, man. It's a struggle out there in Arizona. Sorry, D-backs fans, but it's a struggle out there. Bryce Harper got 3% of the votes, 4% of the votes going to Chris Taylor. Let's talk about the top 5 now, though. Juan Soto picked up 4% of the votes for NL outfielders. Mookie Betts, big-time season last year, winning the chip with the Dodgers, 8% of the votes. Shout out to Jesse Winker, man, 9% of the votes for the Cincinnati Reds, as well as his teammate, Nick Castellanos, who also got 11% of the votes. But the number 1 vote getter in the NL for outfielders is Ronald Acuna Jr. Got to salute that guy. He is having another standout season, one of the great young players in baseball right now. I mean, you gotta respect it. You gotta respect it. Ronald Acuna, man, 2018 NL Rookie of the Year, 2-time Silver Slugger Award. I mean, come on. He had 41 homers just 2 years ago. He's only gonna get better. And we're gonna move on now to the catcher side of the AL. Salvador Perez, another Kansas City Royal, 43% of the votes. Right behind him is Yasmani Grandal with 9%. And Martin Maldonado from Houston with 7% of the votes, man. Got to salute all of those guys. But Salvador Perez, man, even starting to age, he's still playing some good baseball, man. Always Mr. Solid, man. Even after having Tommy John surgery, you know, I mean, he had 5 straight All-Star games, you know, leading up to that Tommy John surgery. Looks like he's returning back to form. So let's talk about the NL side. Man, I'll start from the bottom because I really want to salute the person who is the leading vote getter right now. But 6% of the vote went to William Contreras, or Wilson Contreras, whatever name he goes by now. We got Will Smith picking up 11% of the votes for the LA Dodgers. He's having a very strong season. Got him on my Diamond Dynasty team. Let me know if you want to see me play some more Diamond Dynasty. I'll definitely here for that. We got Yadier Molina coming in with 16% of the votes. He came in second. And number 1, Buster Posey. Man, you gotta respect Buster Posey, man. He's been doing it for so long, so consistent, and he's just been a solid player all the way out, all the way through. And just to wrap it up, let's salute the designated hitters, man. Shohei Ohtani, JD Martinez, man, they've all got a heavy amount of votes, and I hope that Shohei is also gets to show off his ability on the mound, you know, because he is truly something special. He's gonna be in the home run derby. And whatever he does in the All-Star game, whether pitching or hitting, it's going to be enjoyable to see. And I hope this was enjoyable for you to watch. You know, salute to all the potential All-Stars this year. Go out there and vote on MLB.com. And leave your comments here on the channel and let us know who you think should be an All-Star. Whether it's somebody from your team or somebody that wasn't mentioned that's having a great year that you think should get us a nod or a salute. And salute to you for tuning in to BYC Gaming. I go by the name of Biz Billa. I'm here doing what I do, doing what I love. You know what I'm saying? Salute to you for tuning in. Be sure to follow us on Twitch at BYC Gaming, on Instagram at BYC_gaming, and everywhere else is bringing you classics. We out of here.